Majestic ones, are y'all ready to go beast mode today? Today we have a very, very profound topic at hand, and that is a pranayama. A lot of people haven't really heard of pranayama, and basically if I was to sum that up in English, it is breathing techniques. But pranayama is the more accurate word to use to talk about this, because it's more than just breathing techniques. What we're talking about right here is something very spiritual and imperative to life. Let's just think about this. The very first thing that you do when you come to life is breathe. That's the first thing you do. You don't blink. First thing you do is breathe. And surprisingly, but yet not surprisingly, almost every human on the planet is doing it wrong. Why? Because we have been programmed that way. Our nervous system is not fully functioning because of the way that we breathe. So, pranayama is a word that basically talks about and emphasizes the fact that when we're breathing, it's not just oxygen that is giving us the life energy. It is the prana. If you were to look in your body on a cellular level, right? There's a bunch of cells doing this process called meiosis, where you ever see it's like one cell becomes two cells become four cells become 8, and these cells just keep multiplying and multiplying and multiplying, right? That is reproductive energy. It is plain as day, right? You see that is reproductive energy. And what is reproduction? Reproduction is more life. What is a reproductive act when you're a full human being? Sex. Reproductive energy is sexual energy. That's what keeps your entire organism running. Your ability to regenerate is sexual energy. You cut a worm in half, it grows right back. That's sexual energy. The power to regenerate. You cut a lizard's tail off, it grows right back. That's sexual energy. Your liver, you can cut up to 80% of your liver out and it will regenerate completely. The organ inside your body, your liver. A lot of people don't know that. Your skin has the ability to regenerate. You cut it, it heals. That is regeneration. How do you increase the regenerative powers in your organism? Pranayama is the answer. It is directly and consciously accessing your body and mind's ability to channel the sexual energy that is your life force. In esotericism, we got the 4 elements, right? Hydrogen is the water element. Oxygen is the air element. Nitrogen is the fire element. And carbon is the earth element. Alright? Just keep that in mind. Most ancient spiritual teachings talk about the importance of breathing, because this is the absolute foundation of what we call spirituality. We're going to break down the word spirit right now. The word spirit has the same root word as the word spiral. Same root word as the word spin. Same root word as the word spine. Same root word as inspiration. All of these relate to the same deeper meaning. When you breathe, there is a subtle energy that comes up your spine. Your spine spins upwards. Your spine spirals upwards. This is the essence of spirituality. It's the upward spinning movement of the natural energy. That's what it's about. When you tap into that directly, you are spiritualizing your life. You have a lunar body, you have a solar body. Your lunar body is the lymphatic waters within your organism. It deals with regeneration and healing. It also deals with stem cells and things like that, which we'll get into later. Your solar body is the respiratory system. This is dealing with breathing. A lot of people don't do the breathing thing correctly. There's no separation between physicality and spirituality. That's a whole nother topic in itself. But in order to spiritualize yourself, we talked about the 4 elements. The 2 elements that you don't need to focus on when you are spiritualizing yourself, as far as pranayama is concerned, is the earth element, carbon, and the water element, hydrogen. These are going to be dealing with your lunar body. We're not talking about that right now. We're talking about your solar body, your solar body. All right? Your solar body is going to deal with the other 2 elements. The air element, oxygen, and the fire element, nitrogen. Okay? When you breathe in air, which is mostly, I think it's like 88% oxygen, 22% nitrogen. So you're breathing in oxygen and nitrogen when you breathe in at this layer of the atmosphere. When you breathe out, what are you breathing? Carbon dioxide. You want to get rid of the earth element. All of pranayama is essentially about getting the earth element out, because the earth element represents stagnation, solidness, stuff being solid, still, stagnant, stopping. We don't want things to stop. All of those have the same root word: stop, stand, statue, stagnant. All of those have the same root word, and they come from the same energy. You're getting rid of all that stopping energy, and you're filling yourself with that movement energy. You want things to flow. You want to be a natural flow. That is the purpose of your solar body. So you have to breathe in order to spiritualize your life. If you don't do that, you're not really spiritual. You're just intellectual. You know a few texts. That's it. And that's not the goal. The goal is to get results in your life, to manifest a new version of yourself, to regenerate yourself so that you can be spiritual and whole. So essentially, photons, which are light particles, right? If we go back into the Bible, if you read the Bible, we know the first thing that ever came out of God's mouth, according to the Bible, was, "Let there be light." That was the first thing. Everything was basically made from that light. Let there be light. This was what everything was fashioned out of. Light is energy. Photons are light particles, okay? These photons come together through a magnetic attraction to create electrons. Electrons then create atoms. So electromagnetism, alpha, omega, come together. Electromagnetism essentially is God. This is what spirituality is about. It's about understanding the deep magnificence of who and what God is. And I'm not trying to make it so that it seems like it's all science, because there is definitely some very, very profound things that are beyond mental comprehension when it comes to understanding God and understanding oneself. But that's by design. That's how intelligent this whole system is, right? Electromagnetism, though. We know that gold is one of the most powerful conductors of electromagnetic energy. Not just electricity, but electromagnetism. And you know that you have different minerals in your body, right? You got iron in your blood, potassium in your blood, you have magnesium in your blood, zinc in your blood, you got calcium in your blood, you got all these things in you. You have gold in you. You do have that. And in the body, the receptacle of gold is the pineal gland. So essentially, when you're doing these pranayamas, and you're supercharging your body with electromagnetic energy, life force energy, you're activating different sensors in your brain that allow that gold to radiate this electromagnetic energy that gives you clarity, and you become a new transformed version of yourself. You become born again. You can regenerate your entire organism and be bathed in brand new blood if you practice pranayamas correctly. Now obviously, this is just the tip of the iceberg. You also need to do the semen retention that I'm always talking to you about. Just doing pranayamas alone without also doing semen retention is self-defeating. You need to actually protect your mind and your body and do the pranayamas to get the full effect. Have you ever seen a phone that's half charged? Yes, of course you have. Your phone that you watching this on right now is probably half charged. What if it was 20% charged? What if it was 10% charged? What if it was 5% charged? You're gonna go charge that phone up, right? So you don't want your phone to die, but yet so many of us refuse to breathe correctly. And literally, scientifically, breathing is the charging system of your organism A lot of people are walking around on 50%, 20%, 5%, shallow breathing their entire lives, never activating higher centers of energy inside their cells. The vagus nerve is activated when you're breathing, when you're doing the correct breathing. Breathing essentially ionizes the central spinal fluid that's all throughout your body. The central spinal fluid is basically, the cerebral spinal fluid is basically how your body regenerates itself. We talked about the lymphatic waters and everything like that earlier. The cerebral spinal fluid is absolutely important for your health so that your body can produce white blood cells and all kinds of things. The very charging system of that is your breathing, something that you have conscious control of. And when you think about it, right, what other function in your body happens automatically without you thinking that you can also consciously think and control? Like your digestion happens without you thinking, but it don't matter how hard you focus, you can't control the entire functionality of that, right? Your blood and your heart pumping, it happens without you thinking, but you can't focus and try to control that. Your breathing though, you can. It's one of those automatic functions that can also be manual, and there's a reason for that. There's a very deep reason that your body has that function. You just need to wake up and put it into practice. So that was the message for today, y'all. I hope y'all got something from that, Majestic One.